Chapter 1. The Shattered Vow. The heavy scent of lilies usually meant celebration in the Blake household, but today they smelled like a funeral. Justin Blake, 25 and arguably the most envied man in the city's social circles, stepped into the penthouse he shared with his fiancée, Brian Shetfield. He was home early, a surprise for the man he had spent 3 years doting upon. He had a vintage bottle of wine in one hand and a heart full of domestic dreams in the other. He'll be so happy, Justin thought, a small smile playing on his lips. Maybe we can finally talk about the honeymoon in Maldives without him checking his emails. But as he reached the hallway, the silence of the apartment was punctured by a sound that made his blood turn to ice. It was a rhythmic creaking, accompanied by a woman's high-pitched giggles and a man's low, guttural moans. Justin's heart hammered against his ribs like a trapped bird. He walked toward their bedroom, his bedroom, to find the door slightly ajar. Through the gap, the scene was a technicolor nightmare. Brian, 26 and looking every bit the golden boy Justin had loved, was tangled in the designer silk sheets with a girl who looked barely out of college. It was Selena Wilde, the 21-year-old socialite Justin had once invited to their engagement party out of pity. I gave him everything. The thought screamed in Justin's head, unbidden and sharp. I practically rebuilt his ego when his father's firm faltered. Is this the thanks I get? A bed full of Wilde? Justin didn't scream. He didn't throw the wine. Instead, a cold, calculated numbness took over. He reached into his pocket, pulled out his phone and hit record. He captured the betrayal in high definition, the way Brian looked at Selena with a passion he hadn't shown Justin in months. After 30 seconds of digital evidence, Justin tucked the phone away and turned. He left the apartment in a silence so profound, it felt like a physical weight. 2 hours later, Justin was at the Onyx, a high-end club where the bass was loud enough to drown out the sound of a breaking heart. He was on his third glass of expensive scotch when the atmosphere of the room shifted. Wasn't just a person walking in. It was a gravity well. Miles Jetson, 30 years old and the undisputed king of the city's capital, entered the room. He was tall, wearing a charcoal suit that cost more than a mid-range car, and possessed a face that looked chiseled from marble by a vengeful god. As the eldest son of the Jetson family, the top rich family in the country, he didn't just scan the room, he owned it. Justin felt a surge of reckless rebellion. If Brian wants a playground, I'll show him a masterclass. He stood up, smoothing his shirt, and intercepted Miles near the VIP lounge. Justin leaned in, the scent of expensive cologne and scotch swirling between them. You look like you're searching for something you haven't found yet, Justin said, his voice a sultry velvet edge. Miles looked down, his dark eyes skeptical. And you look like you're trying very hard to hide a tragedy behind a flirtation, little Blake. Justin didn't flinch at being recognized. Instead, he stepped into Miles's personal space, his hand trailing up the lapel of the older man's suit. Maybe I am. Or maybe I just decided that tonight, I want the best this city has to offer. Are you the best, Miles? The challenge sparked something in Miles's eyes. The skepticism vanished, replaced by a predatory heat. He grabbed Justin's waist, pulling him flush against him. You have no idea what you're playing with. Then show me, Justin whispered. They didn't make it to the lounge. Right there on the dance floor, amidst the strobe lights and pulsing rhythm, Miles claimed his mouth in a kiss that was less of a greeting and more of a conquest. It was raw, desperate, and exactly what Justin needed to burn the image of Brian out of his brain. The night ended in a penthouse suite at the Grand Lux, where Miles Jetson proved that his reputation as a heartthrob was a gross understatement. In the heat of that room, Justin didn't think about weddings or business alliances. He only thought about the way Miles's hands felt on his skin. The morning sun was an intruder. Justin woke up to the feeling of strong arms pulling him back into the mattress. Again, Miles murmured against the nape of Justin's neck, his voice husky with sleep. I can't, Justin said, though his body was screaming for him to stay. He sat up, reaching for his discarded clothes. I have an appointment. Miles sat up, his chest bare and intimidating. He reached out, grabbing Justin's wrist and pulling him back onto the bed with effortless strength. "Stay. I haven't shown you all my tricks yet, and I'm not used to being left mid-sentence." Justin chuckled, a dry, hollow sound. He leaned in and gave Miles a final, fleeting kiss. "I'd love to, Miles. Really. But today is my wedding day. I have a ceremony to attend." He disentangled himself and dressed quickly. As the door clicked shut behind him, Miles sat in the rumpled sheets, his expression shifting from amusement to a cold, focused irritation. He picked up his phone and dialed his assistant. "Find me everything on Justin Blake," Miles commanded. "I want to know who he's marrying, what his father's debts are, and what he likes for breakfast. Now." The Shetfield Blake wedding was the event of the season. The chapel was overflowing with the city's elite. Justin stood at the altar, looking pristine in a white tuxedo, while Brian stood opposite him, looking smug. "Look at him," Justin thought, his gaze drifting to the front row where Selena Wilde sat with her aunt, looking smug and demure. "She's wearing the pearls he bought with my credit card." When the officiant reached the part about, "If anyone knows any reason why these two should not be wed," a heavy silence fell. "Actually," Justin said, his voice ringing out clearly, "I have a small presentation for the guests." He stepped toward the technical booth and tapped his phone. Suddenly, the massive projector screens meant for a Journey of Love slideshow flickered to life. Instead of childhood photos, the entire room was treated to a high-definition recording of Brian and Selena in the bedroom. The gasp that went through the crowd was like a physical wave. Selena shrieked, burying her face in her aunt's shoulder before running out of the chapel in tears. Brian turned a violent shade of red. "Justin, what the hell is this?" Brian roared, stepping toward him, his fists clenched. "You ruined everything. You humiliated her." Justin felt a cold laugh bubble up. "Humiliated her? Brian, you're standing at our wedding after sleeping with a girl in our bed, and your first instinct is to defend her." "You're a spiteful bitch, Justin," Brian hissed, his voice dropping to a low, threatening growl. "I was doing you a favor by marrying you. Your family's company is a sinking ship. You think you can walk away from the Shetfield enterprise?" So that's it, Justin thought. Not even a sorry, just a threat. "I'm not walking away, Brian," Justin said, stepping forward and delivering a slap so hard it echoed off the vaulted ceilings. "I'm running. The engagement is off. Enjoy your mistress. I hear she likes pearls." Justin turned and walked down the aisle, his head held high even as his heart felt like it was cracking. He didn't see the figure on the balcony above. Miles Jetson stood there, hidden by the shadows, a dark smirk playing on his lips as he watched the boy he had claimed the night before systematically dismantle his own life. Outside, the sky had turned a dismal gray. A light rain began to fall as Justin walked down the street, his white tuxedo jacket quickly soaking through. The adrenaline was fading, replaced by a crushing weight of reality. "My parents," he thought, his chest tightening. "The Blake group is failing. My father practically begged the Shetfields for this alliance. The condition was the marriage. If I leave Brian, the funding stops. My father loses the legacy. My mother loses her home." He felt like he was drowning. He had traded his future for a moment of justice, and now the rain was washing away the last of his strength. Suddenly, the sound of a luxury engine purred nearby. A black SUV pulled to the curb and a door opened. Before Justin could react, a pair of strong arms scooped him up, lifting him in a bridal carry as if he weighed nothing. Justin gasped, his hands instinctively clutching at a warm, expensive suit. He looked up, his eyes meeting the dark, intense gaze of Miles Jetson. "You look like a drowned rat, Justin Blake," Miles said, his voice a low rumble that vibrated through Justin's chest. What are you doing here?" Justin stammered, his confusion warring with the sudden, intense feeling of safety. Miles didn't answer immediately. He simply stepped into the back of the car, still holding Justin, and closed the door against the rain. "I told you, I don't like being left mid-sentence, and I think it's time we discussed a new kind of alliance."
I don't chase it.